So, one of the biggest gifts a man has is his mind. Your mind is one of the best things that God gave to you. And if you don't put it to good use, you're going to be living half your life at the end of your life. So, just want to share something I read. This is for everybody who shares any kind of interest in the works of literature. Um, what is very important to remember is that literature itself is life. So I I have a gift to give to God. I will give him a gift for making me study literature for as long as I have done. So I just want to share with you some tips about making literature interesting for everybody. So if we agree with the proposition that literature is life, then we must strive with all within our powers to study literature, understand it, and then share ideas judiciously. You know, one of the things I like to just share this morning is that we must strive to be very clear when we say what we're saying. Clarity is the soul of wisdom, it's the soul of knowledge. Without clarity, we can't, we'll be lost in the maze of words and long winded idioms that will only make you sound like an idiot. On a lighter note, according to George Orwell, to be clear is the true value of language itself. Clear is, it's him, to quote verbatim, say, a clear language, the very um, enemy, he calls it enemy of clear language is insincerity. When you're sincere with what you're saying, power of expression comes naturally to you. Sincerity is key. Be sincere with what you're saying, and clarity will naturally follow. You know, and and the book I'm currently reading, which is titled The Literature Readers, Key Thinkers of Key Concepts." Very rich book. Um, I don't know if I can show you the book because of copyright, but yeah, that's the title of the book. In case you may want to go and look at it. Um, so, key, key, the literature reader, uh, key thinkers of key concepts. That's the title of the book. I can't show you the book because of copyright issues, but yeah. So, and clarity is very important, especially if you're expressing yourself about any issue. And literature has evolved to mean so many things. Literature is a continuously living conversation that we have. It could be political, religious, social, cultural, just anything that keeps the conversation going. So it is very important that we think about clarity. Clarity is very important. Remember, George Orwell says the real enemy of of um, of language. You know, is clear language. He means is insincerity. But what can we do to overcome this lack of clarity? In the book I'm reading, The Literature Reader, there are five recommended things you can do to overcome um, this problem. One is to know your subject. Know your subject. Nothing beats the knowledge of your subject. Nothing beats it. A lot of times we do not understand what we're talking about, but we want to be seen. So I think the first thing is to bury yourself in what you're trying to learn. Know your subject. And what I've come to realize is that because of the many um, internet materials out there, a lot of people no longer take time to read the text, the primary text that are given. This cuts across all levels. I'll be sharing what I'm doing currently with my kids, because for me that is my first school. You know, so know your subject. That's the first, and the second thing that you can do is to research, conduct research. You know, conduct research. A lot of people have traveled the road you are on, and so you must learn how to conduct research. Think through what they have said. Look at how they merge with what you think, how they deviate from what you think. And the third thing is to try to answer the question. Try to answer the question. This is one very big challenge we have. A lot of times we think that answering a question simply means saying something. Yes, of course, in literature we always say that there is a sense in every nonsense. But of course, um, if you have a particular question to address in exam, as a student, as a political commentator, as a religious person, you cannot afford to just be lost in the maze or convincingly deceive or confuse your reader or listener with what you have to say. So answer the question. For instance, in King Lear, if you have a question like, to what extent can we see King Lear's daughters, um, um, Regan and Goneri, as victims rather than villains? You have that question to think about. You have the cultural system to think about. Cultural system that give them existence. Think about kinship. Think about the charity. Think about love. Think about even the excoriating, um, excoriating speeches of King Lear to the daughters. All of these are very important to consider in the exploration of this question. And so you think about focusing on these two characters, say Goneri and Regan. Think about the various places they appear. Think about the setting. Think about what they say. Think about who said something about them. So you're not going to just be lost in the maze. And so that's the third thing you do. And it follows naturally that if you're able to know your subject, um, Know your subject. What's the second thing I said again? Know your subject. Research, conduct research, and answer the question. The fourth thing that you do is to structure your response. Structure your response. Now you have everything, just like anybody who wants to build anything, whether it be you an engineer, mechanical, civil, electrical, anything. Someone who wants to build something will naturally think about what is the pattern, what is the process, what is the model, what is the framework. So you think about putting your ideas into a proper structure before you actually commence writing. This is very important. And if you have done that, then of course the final thing you should think about is justification. How do I provide justification for the points I'm making? How do I convince my readers that what I'm saying is the truth and nothing but the truth? You need evidence from the text, evidence to back up every single thing you're saying. Provide evidence profusely, and your whoever is reading your work will be utterly convinced that you know what you are saying. So, just these tips to share with you this morning, and please keep reading. The word is in your room. The word is in your room. Cheers.